What's up guys, Clouded Truth here with some more Battlefield 3, and today I've got a quick little round here of rush attack on Carg Island. This is just the last base because I just want a short video to talk about my topic today, which is the M16A3 and why this weapon is so commonly used. I mean, you see this weapon all over the place. I mean, almost on every single map there's an assault guy running around with an M16A3. And you see people from level 1s to like level 99 colonels running this weapon, and guys that are some of the best in the game run the M16A3. And well, why is that? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about why this M16A3 is so popular and why it is so commonly used. I've got a number of reasons, but let's go ahead and start out with the first one, which is you get this weapon to start out the game. At level 1 on the US side, or actually, well, level 0 technically, you have this gun. It is there for you to use on the assault class on the US side, and you unlock it. You can, somebody leave me a comment. Off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I cannot remember how many points it takes on the assault side to get it for the Russian side, but if you play assault for a while, maybe, I don't know, probably about a week's or two worth of Battlefield 3. If you play on a pretty consistent basis of playing assault class, you should easily unlock this the M16A3 for the Russian side pretty quickly, and you can go ahead and use it then. But as far as the US side, you get it right off the bat, and it makes this weapon very good because that leads to another reason. You get to use it for a long time. Oftentimes, starting weapons are weapons you will use for a long time because they're the very first ones you try in the game, and they're the ones you feel the most comfortable with because you learn how to use the weapon. You learn the setup of it because it's the only weapons that you have. And the M16A3, a lot of people get very comfortable with this weapon because they go, oh, you know, this weapon, you know, it has a pretty good fire rate, and I learn my setups, I know its strengths, I know its weaknesses because I've used it for a while because it's the starting gun on the assault rifle class on the US side. That for me is, I think, one of the biggest reasons why I think this gun is so commonly used is just the fact that you get it so early and you can use it for a long time, which allows you to really understand how this weapon works and where it performs well and where it does not. Now, I've already mentioned the fire rate at 800 rounds a minute, which is pretty high. It's not the highest. The FAMAS is the highest in the assault class with 1,000 rounds, with the AEK being a 900 rounds per minute fire rate assault rifles. But the M16A3 is pretty fast. It is not nearly as fast as those two guns, so in close quarters, it will most often not lose gunfights to those weapons, but a lot of other guns, the M16A3 will beat in close quarters just because the fire rate is fast enough with that 800 rounds. The reload time is absolutely incredibly fast. The fastest in the assault class will be around 1.8 seconds with a bullet chambered, and 2.37 with the magazine dry, so that is just amazing. That really is. It's, I believe, the M416, not counting the M16A4 because that is identical to the M16A3 except the burst version, excuse me. But the M416 is right behind that, I believe, and that is also a very fast reload time, but not quite as fast as the M16A3, which is a definite plus when using this weapon. The M16A3 also has very controllable recoil. Even starting out with no attachments, I found myself still being able to control this weapon very easily. It's just a little bit difficult to use the iron sights just because they're kind of small, a little hard to use. It's not impossible, but it is difficult. So it is something where once you unlock a sight, that may be really the reason why you still will use the gun, just because the recoil is not too bad, and that scope helps you see enemies downrange. And one of the final things is, I think the M16A3 performs well in almost every single situation because the gun is pretty accurate. It's pretty good in close quarters. It performs well in medium range. Now, not as good as some weapons like an AN-94 or a G3A3, but it performs well at medium range. And at long range, it can get the job done. It's not great. It's not really even that good, but it will get the job done. And that is why I think the M16A3 is so popular. It is very, very efficient. It's very reliable, and it can get the job done in almost every single situation. So that's why, me personally, I like the gun, and that's why I think it is so commonly used. So guys, please leave me your feedback down below as far as what you think about the M16A3 and why it's so commonly used. And tomorrow, the first episode of my new video, or new series rather, about that setup, which will be a troll video because you guys trolled me in the comments section on the last video. So look forward to that tomorrow, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.